Alright guys, I want to give you a sequel here to the Rickenbacker video. A lot of people were leaving comments and talking to me about the Rickenbacker, so I want to go into that story really quick before I share this other news with you, which you probably already just saw it. But so almost a year ago from now, my son and I went into Sam Ash Music and we spotted a Rickenbacker in there. I immediately fell in love with it when I played it. Like, it just felt so right. There was just something about the tone of it, the feel, just the way the fingerboard felt. I was in love with this bass. But it was going for 1,900 bucks. So I went home, I couldn't stop thinking about the bass, and I had figured out and come up with the resources to basically justify buying the bass. And I went back in there to get the bass, and it was gone. From all of the comments that you guys were leaving about the Rickenbacker, it was looking like that was a blessing in disguise. So a few more months went by. I guess it was about summer 2021 at this point. I go back in there and I'm talking to one of the guys about that Rickenbacker, and he says, well, it's still here. And I'm like, are you serious? He goes, I'm totally serious, it's here. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, it's still there, it's fate. I should be getting this bass, right? And I'm like, why isn't it out on the floor? So he brings it to me and he says, there's one problem, there's one caveat. He said, the toggle switch is broken. And I'm like, really? And I said, are you sure this is the same bass that I played like 4 months ago? He's like, it's the same bass. So I played it and I was like, oh yeah, that's the same bass. I knew right away. He said, well, if you want it, I can sell it to you. And I said, well, not for $1,900, not with a broken toggle switch and stuff like that. You're gonna have to give me a good deal. And he says, okay, well, I'll look into it. I'll talk to my boss and we'll see what we can do. So I said, okay. So I left. After I left, I was like, oh wow, it's fate. I'm supposed to get this Rickenbacker. So I go and start doing all this research on Rickenbackers, and I start finding out, I start hearing all these horror stories. And this one video in particular that totally made me laugh. Like, I was in tears, I was laughing so hard. I think it's called Dave's World of Fun Stuff. I'll put a link in the description below for you guys. But after seeing that video, and I dug around on TalkBass and stuff and heard about like the dual truss rod and how there's just all kinds of issues and it's a nightmare to set that thing up. And a lot of people kept making Geddy Lee references and saying, hey, why isn't Geddy Lee still playing Rickenbacker basses? And it's kind of like, yeah, you got a point. So Chris Squire, who's one of my heroes, I noticed that he still kept playing his up until he died. But still, either way, it was looking like those things weren't really worth all the trouble. So I had made a decision to not buy that Rickenbacker bass. So all of you guys who are leaving those questions and comments and saying, you don't need that bass, don't worry. I cannot see buying a Rickenbacker in the foreseeable future for me. I got over that and I found another bass. I got news for you guys. This is the one that I already posted a video on. It is here. It is in my possession now. And I just felt like it was there waiting for me. It was hanging all the way at the top. Guy had to get a ladder to go up there and get it. It went on sale, and it's not perfect. First guy that was trying to sell it to me, he said, I don't see anything wrong with the toggle switch. Well, that is the hang up with these things. The toggle switches are not, like, they just rushed them out of the factory and they didn't do it right. And the intonation is off just a tad. I'm gonna take care of that. But I told him, I said, I'm not gonna buy this bass if you're gonna sit there and not acknowledge that toggle switch is jacked up. And he's like, okay, whatever. And he's like, I'm gonna let this other guy see it. And he didn't have a nasty attitude. He was polite about it, but he just said, okay, all right. And the other guy looked at it and he's like, I totally see the problem. There's a serious issue here and I can fix it. And I'm like, okay, let's see what you can do. So he fixes it and it's all working. And it works nicely, works better than any of the ones I tested out. As soon as he fixed it and he handed it back to me and I fiddled with it, I said sold. So here it is. Just got home with it a little while ago. I'm really excited. It's great. Oh, by the way, I'm going through some effects right now. I'll turn them off so you can hear it nice and clean. Okay, no effects, people. I'm just gonna play for you clean. these are the strings that shipped with the bass. I've got some new strings I'm gonna put on it, but I just want you to hear it. New member of the family here. I'm very, very excited about this bass. This is some dirty overdrive for you. I'm gonna dial it back a little bit. Fingers. Oh yeah. Bass feels and it plays great. It's everything that I still want out of a semi-hollow. It's nice and light. Wow, I think I just found my new daily player. Seriously, one semi-hollow to rule them all. Play this one out really quick with some more effect, just to let you guys hear how much I love the sound of this thing.